So, I hear you're looking for a sewing machine. Gonna get into it, right? Got your heart set on it, I hear. Well, look here. You really need to watch this.
Hi everyone, Peter here from Island Sewing Center. You know, in my job, I see a lot of sewing machines, and I see a lot of customers too. A lot of really nice people, I might add. And I do see two kinds of machines that I'd like to speak to you about. First is the machine that you get from a box store, and those machines that you get from a dealer. There is a difference. Let's have a look at the box store machine. This is one. It has a very low price. You're not going to pay a whole bunch. The instructions are included in the box. If you can read, you can operate this machine. There are some drawbacks though. There's no after-sales support. None whatsoever. If you have a problem with this machine, there is nobody you can turn to. It has very little warranty. They tell you that it does. They all do. But mostly you're on your own. It's a cheap construction. Let's have a look at the insides of this. As you can see, everything inside is all connected and by screws and attached to the frame itself. Now, that's a problem, you know, because every sewing machine, just by the nature of its construction, vibrates. That's why they have a counterweight up here to offset the vibration. But there's still a lot of vibration involved when you're running. These screws are screwed into plastic, and plastic doesn't respond very well to vibration. And eventually what happens is that all of these parts start to get loose, these different segments here. They start to get loose, and all of a sudden you're getting all these little problems with your machine. And you know, there's nothing a repair guy can do about these. These are low-end machines, and they're made, all manufacturers do this, they're made for high turnaround sales in box stores. That's it. I see some people wanting to start a company with these, and they just don't last. Now, a couple of things that you have to consider also is that big box stores are not local. I know what they say, but they're not local. The money you spend there does not go into your locality. It does in the way of salaries and things, but for the most part, off it goes to corporate headquarters, wherever that might be. So, you know, there's always the big truth there that you get what you pay for. And in these cases, unless you're just a very occasional sewer who uses a sewing machine once or twice a year, if you're any more serious than that, or want to be serious, this is not the way to go. So let's put this guy aside here. So what's the main difference between a box store and a dealer? Well, a machine you get from a dealer has a frame inside the plastic. Nothing is attached to the plastic. It's all attached to a cast aluminum alloy frame. The nice thing about this is that all vibrations are contained within the frame. And so you get a much smoother operating machine. the components don't work their way loose. So you have way, way, way less problems, even in the long run. They're easier to work on from a technical point of view. And so, you know, they have a lot more options, a lot more, you know, bells and whistles. And these machines will last you years and years and years. They're made for harder work than these. They can withstand quite a bit. Now, that said, this is not an industrial machine. If you're looking at industrial sewing, you should look at an industrial sewing machine. But these are heavier duty than these. Another thing to consider is that when you buy one of these from a dealer, most dealers will give you one-on-one instructions on how to use it. That goes a long ways. You have somebody to talk to. Not just that, but you're going to get after-sales support. I can't begin to express how important that is. After-sales support is critical because you're going to come to a point where you say, I don't get it. And you're going to, or your machine breaks down for whatever reason. Things happen. And you need somebody to back you up. You're not going to get that out of a box store. You will get that from a dealer. A dealer can act as an intermediary between you and the manufacturer. Big plus. The warranty with a dealer is much better, much more encompassing than it is with a box store machine. And most dealers, I know we do, we have clubs and lessons available to our customers where you can expand your knowledge, not only about your machine, but about your sewing and quilting and other things. That's a big plus, something to consider seriously. Not to mention that local businesses support their communities because that's where we live. So you get what you pay for. And in dealing with a dealer, you're going to get a lot more than just a machine. Consider this when you buy. I'm not going to tell you how to spend your money, of course, but this is a much better investment than this. For the price of a machine with a frame from a dealer, you could go through 3 or 4 of these, and you're always stuck with a machine that's broken, a big paperweight. So I hope that this has been of some value to you. This is not a prepared script. I just thought I would talk to you about this. It's something that I see often, and people get really upset because, you know, they go back to this big box store and, you know, want help, and their machine's not doing this or that and the other thing, and the box store just looks at them and says, so, you know, so consider everything. Be an intelligent buyer. Do your homework, do your due diligence. Consider the facts, consider why you want a sewing machine and what you're going to do. Thanks a lot for putting up with my ramblings. I hope this has been of some service to you, and we'll be seeing you again in the future on future videos. We have all kinds of things coming up, just tons of them. But you got to do 2 things for me first. First, you got to subscribe, and then it would be nice if you could just hit that thumbs up button. It's really, really appreciated. So, without further ado, I'll wish you all a wonderful day, and happy sewing, happy quilting, happy embroidery, happy whatever you're pursuing. We'll see you next time on Island Sewing Tips.